Joe Flacco being named the Browns' Week 1 starter closes one chapter of this offseason's most publicized quarterback story, and it reshuffles everything for Shedeur Sanders. That outcome was predictable in one sense. Flacco is the veteran with the most NFL-ready profile. The team invested in him to steady the room, and coaches often default to experience when the margin for error is small. But for Sanders, the timing couldn't be worse. He arrived in Cleveland with enormous attention after a turbulent draft slide, flashed real promise in a publicly viewed preseason debut, then lost momentum to an oblique strain that cost him the follow-up reps scouts and coaches rely on to make confident evaluations. So what does this mean practically? First, depth chart reality. Sanders started camp as the least invested signal caller of the four, late fifth-round pick behind a veteran like Flacco, a seasoned mid-career addition in Kenny Pickett, and a third-round rookie in Dillon Gabriel. Teams weigh draft capital and experience heavily. Those are levers that already push the needle against an immediate starting role. Flacco's Week 1 designation simply formalizes what the Browns' roster building suggested from the start. Second, opportunity is now about development, not immediate elevation. Sanders' preseason tape and the enormous TV ratings he drew gave him a platform, a marketable moment that won't be erased, but coaches measure consistency, playbook mastery, and repeatable practice habits. His immediate priority has to be full recovery, then maximizing behind-the-scenes growth, mastering cadence and protections in Stefanski's offense, building chemistry with the receiving core in walkthroughs, and converting every scout team rep into a learning moment. Sitting behind Flacco isn't career death. It's a controlled environment to refine footwork, progressions, and NFL timing if Sanders approaches it like a professional apprenticeship. Third, perception matters, but it isn't destiny. The draft slide created a narrative that followed him into Cleveland, which can be a double-edged sword. Media heat, endorsement interest, and fan expectations raise profile and scrutiny simultaneously. Sanders needs to neutralize the noise by letting on-field practice and preseason snaps, when healthy, do the talking. The Browns' decision-makers will respond to tape and readiness more than hype. Finally, roster mechanics and future paths. Cleveland could keep 3 QBs and occasionally 4, depending on injury risk and special teams considerations. If Sanders stays healthy and continues to show growth, he can climb the depth chart as a short-term backup or develop into a mid-season option if injuries or performance force the issue. If progress stalls, the Browns might prioritize the higher-drafted Gabriel or the veteran value of Pickett, which would make Sanders' practice squad accessibility or an outside market claim the realistic fallback. Bottom line, Flacco starting is a setback for Sanders' Week 1 ambitions, but not a terminal one. Recovery, daily work, and football IQ gains are his currency now. If he treats this as an extended audition, learn from Flacco, absorb Stefanski's system, stay available, the preseason headline will morph from missed opportunity to patient development long before anyone writes his long-term story.